Okay, so it looks like we're live on the air. This is our first PPS Google Apps Office Hour informal Q&A session. So those of you that are joining and watching the live stream on the Google Plus event page, just a reminder on how you ask questions. So what you need to do is when you click play or you're on that page, a new window opens up, and then you'll see the little waffle icon in the top right. If you click that icon, it'll show you a couple of apps. One is the Showcase app, and one is the Question and Answer app. If you click the Q&A app, it allows you to type in questions. And so then I can see the questions that people who are watching the live stream have asked, and then I can answer them. And so we are recording this. I don't know if we're going to actually keep these broadcasts, just because we can probably compile all the information and the questions from them and put them on the FAQ page of the PPS Google Apps site. So just another thing to note is that those of you watching the live stream, when you click on that waffle icon, the other app that shows up besides Q&A is the Showcase app. And so what you see are some links to different sites I've showcased. So one is the PPS Google Apps for Ed site, one is the PPS Google Teacher Portal, and one is the Google Apps for PPS blog. So those are all linked there, and you can get to them from those links. So joining me in the Hangout today, we've got Pamela Vanderwall from Alameda, who's the assistant principal, and Carmel is also in the Hangout, although she does not have any audio or video. So she's at the BESC. So let's look at, I know Carmel has been typing some questions. So the first question here that I can see is there a way to create a form in Google Docs that will allow folks to upload a photo or document and have that info transferred to an Excel spreadsheet? So we're looking at creating forms for HR and want to be able to track the info in Excel. So Carmel, if you create a Google form, it automatically creates a Google spreadsheet that's associated with the form. So everything that's input into the form is automatically input into an associated spreadsheet. Now, I don't believe that Google Forms will allow you currently to attach or upload a photo. So the form has photos, and I don't think people that are answering the survey can upload photos. I know that there are some scripts or other apps that allow you to use forms. So if you're creating the form and you want a photo, you can do that, but survey participants cannot upload a photo to the form. And then let me see here. I'm just actually looking up something here about forms. And for those of you that are watching, remember to start getting into the practice of actually Googling the questions that you have to find the answers, because that is an extremely effective way to find the answers, because a lot of schools and a lot of people already use Google Apps, and so there are tons of videos and answers that exist already out there. So I am just Googled adding photos to forms and found a bunch of results. So I'm going to post a link to that for Carmel in the chat since she's here. And so yeah, you can insert images now into the form, but participants cannot upload photos. So Pamela, do you have a lot of teachers at Alameda using Google Apps?
Not yet. And one of the questions, I'm sending out information through Google Apps, or through, usually I create a lot of spreadsheets in Google and use the docs quite a bit, and the forms also. I love the forms.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some teachers who are having a hard time getting on, and I don't know if that's something that other people are experiencing. They can't access their accounts for some reason, and so I'm not sure. They all have said that they've let IT know that there's an issue, but I don't know if there's something on my end that I can be doing to help them because um, I want them using it.
Right. And so they have all activated their accounts, or you don't know?
Yeah, their accounts have been activated, but for some reason they're not able to access them, either from the Chromebook that they got or from their laptops or whatever. I've got 2 teachers so far who've told me that that's what's going on.
So you don't know what their specific issues are, though?
No, I'm just wondering if we know that there's an issue going on with some accounts, or if this is just a issue particular to them.
So I have not heard of any issues with accounts. What I did notice, though, in my last month of training is that a lot of times people weren't entering the correct username.
Okay.
So a lot of times people were putting in, so for example, mine would be mlim@appsforpps.net. I would have to type that whole thing to log in.
Right.
And some people are putting at pps.net and not putting the apps for pps.net. So they're putting in their PPS email and not their Google account. So that's one thing to check.
Okay. Yep, I can do that.
Yeah.
My other question is just about having Google accounts. So is it possible, because I've been using Google accounts for so long, sorry, Google Docs for so long, I've got them all under my personal Google account. And so I understand that I need to stop using that for work and use the apps for PPS.
Right.
Is there a way of keeping both accounts open at the same time so I can be looking at a spreadsheet under my, or do I just need to transfer everything over to the apps?
No, there is a way. So somebody is messaging me about the link for the Hangout, so let me send that quickly here. Just a moment.
Is that they can define a term that is outside of it. I mean, we can easily go into executive 9 and
all right. So if you're on a Chromebook, there's no other way to do multiple users at the same time. So on a Chromebook, you have to be logged into one Google account at a time, and you can toggle between your different accounts. However, if you're on a Mac or a PC, what you can do is in the Chrome browser, you can set up multiple users, which is what I would recommend. And so to do that in Chrome...
It's done. You can explain it.
Okay. So in Chrome, you click on the Settings button, which is the button in the top right-hand corner with the 3 lines. And so when you go to Settings, if you scroll down a little past midway, I believe, there's an option for Users. And so what you can do is create a user for each of your different Google accounts. And so basically what that allows you to do is when you create that user, it will open a new window for that user, and it keeps you logged into that one account in that one window. And then any other windows you have open in other accounts will stay in those accounts, and it doesn't log you out and log you in, where you have to log back in if you're just doing tabbed browsing, and then you've got a different tab open for each Google account.
Right.
Yeah, so the multiple users in Chrome is the way to go for that.
Okay. And so I can have one tab open under the Apps for PPS account and then another tab.
So if you have multiple users, it actually opens one window for that account. And you can have however many tabs open in that one account, but then you associate a little icon with each account, and that's how you toggle between your different ones. So if you click on the little icon that you select, it'll be on either the top right or the top left, depending on whether you're on a Mac or a PC. And it will list all the other users you've added. And so then you just click on the one you want to open, and then it opens a brand new window for that account.
I'm going to try toggling right now. So if
Okay.
it disappear, that's why. Oh, okay. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. So it just opened up a new
Yep.
a new window.
Yep. So it keeps you logged in to that particular account always
Yeah.
in that window.
Great.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years, or 20,
Thank you. All right. I have to go.
All right.
Got people outside my office here. All right. Thank you so much, Melissa.
You're welcome.
All
Talk to you
right.
later.
Bye.
So I don't see any other questions that are appearing anywhere from either Carmel or other live stream viewers. So I guess I'll just wait a few minutes. So I'm not going to say anything until I get a question. And if there are no more questions within 5 or 10 minutes, then I'll just sign off on the broadcast.
you keep telling yourself that.
So I've got my Q&A app open and so I'm monitoring any questions that come in, and I'm just going to turn off my video for right now.
No. Well, none of the time. Sure. But if you have all bugs done, I will package right now. Now the package is really easy to control. The package is really literally, literally building the package. Got a second? Worst case scenario.
So just a reminder, everyone, those of you joining us, if you click on the waffle icon in the top right, that's where you can find the Q&A app that allows you to type in questions that you have. So just go ahead and type in your question and I'll answer it. If you don't have any questions in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to sign off on the broadcast and I'll see you next Thursday, but I'll wait a few minutes. Okay, so it stops where certain tasks not working because you changed the code. Just say you did nothing. How could you change code if you not added code because Hi, Matt. I do not hear you. Oh,
Hi,
there
can
we
you
go.
see me or hear me? Hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Oh, great. How'd it go?
Good. There are only a couple questions.
Yeah, it seemed like it was kind of nuts and bolts stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then someone was wanting to. Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. I think
Okay.
there's a lag on your end. You're hearing me say hi from several seconds ago.
Yeah. um, they were talking about wanting to insert pictures,
Yes.
images. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So, who is that person who is on the?
There we go.
See me or hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you see me? It's lagging again.
Oh, great. How'd it go?
You don't have another window open, do you?
Yeah.
I do. Just a
It
sec.
seemed like it was
That's
kind
what it is.
I have it.
Yeah.
and then someone was wanting to. Yeah.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Jeez, oh Pete's. Where am I?
I've got a couple of questions by email.
Yeah.
And I'm actually testing something, so just a minute. So one of the questions, I'm just going to reiterate the directions for the Q&A feature, because it seems like that is not working for some people or they don't know how to do it. So if you join the live stream and you're watching the video, you've pressed play, another window should have popped up that shows the video playing, and then once you click on that waffle icon at the top of the window, you see a Q&A app and a showcase app. So if you click Q&A, it shows the questions on the right-hand side. However, the questions, there aren't any right now, but there should be a big green button at the bottom that says Ask a New Question. So if you click on that, it should allow you to type in a question. All right, so the two questions that I had via email, one is from Greg Davis at Richmond and Glencoe. And his question, very popular, is it possible to print directly from the Chromebooks yet? So there is some good news. We're close, very close to a solution using Google Cloud Print. And so I don't know, I think that has to go, it has to be tested a little bit more, and hopefully, I think probably sometime in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to start working on that and creating all of the school groups, because we need to create school groups and then allow the printing to happen for the entire group. And so once that happens, then the printing will work, and we're going to end up using Google Cloud Print, I believe. So until then, the solutions that we recommend are to log in to a computer that already prints, log into your Google account on that computer. If you want to install Google Cloud Print on your own and you feel comfortable doing that, you can do that. So those are your two options until the enterprise solution to printing is resolved for the Chromebooks. And then the other question is from Elaine Farrell-Burns at Creston and Benson. And she says, she asks, can I copy and paste a PowerPoint into a Google PowerPoint in my Google Drive? So Elaine, let me demo this process for you. So I'll share my screen. You can actually upload a PowerPoint into your drive, and when you upload it, you can have it convert automatically into a Google Docs format, a Google presentation format, and then you might lose advanced formatting if you do that. However, you could also, there are two ways to do it. You can also upload it and then you can convert it that way. So let me show you the two ways. So let me pull up my drive and then I'll share that screen. All right, so here I am in my Google Drive, and it's coming up here. And if prior to doing any uploading, you can check a setting that will allow you to convert any document that you upload into Google Docs format. So to do that, you go to your drive. In the top right-hand corner is your settings button, the gear icon. So if you click that and then click settings again, there is this setting, the first one at the top, that says convert uploads. And if you check that box, it will convert uploaded files automatically to Google Docs editor format. So that's one way to bring in your PowerPoint. So the other way is that if you have already uploaded your Microsoft Office document, you can select it. So here's my list of documents in my drive, and so for instance, here's a Excel document right here. So if I right-click on my document, so if I have a 2-button mouse, I'm going to right-click on it. If you are using a single-button mouse, or if you're on a Mac, you can control-click on your document, and then there's this menu option that says Open With. And so if I say Open with Google Sheets, it'll automatically convert the Excel document to a Google Sheet, and then I'll have both documents in my drive. So if I want to keep the original Excel document, I can, or I can just delete it now that I've converted it to Google Drive, to a Google Sheet. All right. So those were the two questions that I had recently. I don't see any other questions. What questions have you been getting, Matt? Have you been getting asked any questions by colleagues or anything about Google Apps? Oh, your audio's out again. Nope, not yet. Maybe you should leave and come back. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Jeez, oh, Pete's. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the issues with with one of the TOSAs I was talking to, she's going to be going to different schools, and she wants to. She just simply wants to have the Excel spreadsheet as is in her drive. She doesn't
Okay.
want it converted. And the only way she's going to be able to open that is if she has Excel on the device she's using, right?
No, she can
Yeah. Okay.
edit it within Drive if she has the Office editing extension.
Okay. Great.
So as long as that's installed, then she can open it in Drive. It will actually open and you can edit.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of the, just kind of portability issues, and also, just in general, the TOSAs are going to be going out and presenting things,
Right.
and sharing files and whatnot, and they were questioning, well, should we be using, our Google Suite for that? Just simply because of the familiarity aspect, or we need to send this PowerPoint out to all the principals. What if some of the principals are not comfortable using Drive, or whatever those kind of transition questions, transitioning from the old guard to now using more cloud-based stuff.
Right.
So I think that's on everybody's minds.
Yeah.
But I think that will vary by building as far as the expectation. I'm sorry, who were you speaking with earlier who was in the Hangout?
Pamela, she's the assistant principal at Alameda.
Okay, so right, and so Pamela was saying, this is my expectation. I want everybody to be using them. Whereas maybe that's not going to be the case due to whatever variable,
Right. Exactly.
So I think that's a big question, and so and also just the huge amount of information and how many files people are going to have to convert over or move over. I just think that just the organizational component. But like even when you were using your screen share, I mean that's huge. Just to know how to do that.
Right.
To move over, you have this whole suite of applications or extensions, whatever, on the side that come out, and you can what is Showcase, what is Q&A, etc. I think that's huge. Especially when you're talking about sharing information as colleagues. I know one of the things is talking about, instead of going across town, you could have professional development opportunity using Hangout. So how are you going to share in real time the numbers I'm talking about, or whatever the case may be, instead of attaching it and sending it to someone. You don't really need to do that if you're just trying to prove a point.
Right.
You just share your screen.
Yep.
So, but I think that's been kind of the biggest thing is, well, are we starting to use it right now, or are we going to wait to use it? I think some people are still wanting someone to tell them that they need to be doing it.
Right, and that person's not going to be me.
Right.
I'm going to recommend. I think your answer that you provided, is perfectly the answer that I would also give, which is depending on who your administrator is, or whether or not you have people in your department saying, why don't we go ahead and try a Google presentation instead of PowerPoint? And then if somebody asks for a PowerPoint later, then we can send them a PowerPoint later. But let's try and use the new stuff, the new tools.
And I think that is the question of, hey, I'm more want to try this. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Right.
But I think, at least from folks that I've heard, they're a little tentative.
Yeah.
They don't know, like, should I do this in PowerPoint? Should I try it out in slides? So that's good.
Yep. Cool.
And what other questions did you have? Because I was kind of in and out.
Let's see. There was a question about the images in forms, and so you can insert images into the form, but people who are filling out the form cannot upload an image or like a file, PDF or something like that. So that was one question.
Mm-hmm.
Another question was, Pamela had a question about the multiple users, so how to do that in Chrome.
Okay.
And then we had the printing question, and then this PowerPoint question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't see any other questions in the Q&A.
And so you were using the Q&A tool for people to post
Questions, yep.
any yeah.
So I don't know if you can do it as a member in the Hangout. You can try and
Well,
let me know.
I have. I click on Q&A.
Uh-huh.
And it says ask your audience to submit questions, and they will appear below.
Okay, so you don't get to submit a question if you're in the Hangout.
Right, but I could potentially answer a question.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what happens is people that are watching the live stream and they're not in the Hangout, they actually have, when they click on the Q&A app, there's like I said, a green button that should show up at the bottom that says ask a new question. So then they type their questions in. And the thing that's really awesome about this feature that I love is that, so let's say we had a bunch of questions, and then you can vote on the questions, so all the people who are watching can see questions that people have posted, and then you +1 the questions. And so the questions that have the most votes, you can answer those first. And so then you just select that question in the list when it shows up in the Q&A app in the Hangout here that we're seeing. And so if I'm ready to answer a question that shows up, I'll select it, and I'll read it out or whatever and answer it. But then what ends up happening on the live stream is that people can see when the broadcast is over and they're just watching the recording, they can see the questions by clicking on the Q&A app, and then when they click on a particular question, it goes to that point in the video where it's being answered.
Wow.
And so that's why I have to select the question when I'm going to answer it, because then it marks it in the video where it's being answered, which is so cool.
So there's that Q&A app is in the stream. It's within the stream window.
No, so in the top right-hand corner of the window, there's the waffle icon, which is your apps launcher.
Yeah.
And so when you click on that, it shows two apps. The two apps I usually turn on are Q&A and Showcase. And Showcase just lets me put in links to different websites.
Okay.
And so if you click on the Q&A in the live stream, that's where you ask the question. But one of our viewers said that the green button is missing, so I don't know what the issue is with that.
Okay. Huh.
But yeah, it's really cool. I love.
Yeah,
this
is going to be really cool. And another thing was, with anyone chatting at all, or can you chat within?
I think can you see the chat, or is it should still be there?
When I click on chat, it's empty.
Oh, okay. So Carmel, who was also in the Hangout earlier, she didn't even have audio or video, so she was only participating via chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So Greg, I don't know why your green button is missing. It should work in Chrome unless you're not in the wrong Hangout, I'm assuming, because you clicked on the link. So. All right. Do you have anything else, Matt?
No. This is a really cool opportunity, though. I'm going to, get the word out to folks who would like to continue dropping in. Do you think it's going to be right around this time?
Yeah, so I actually, on the PPS Google Apps site,
yeah,
I put, there's on the left-hand side at the very bottom, under support, there's a link for the PPS Google Apps office hour, and so I put links for all of the upcoming Hangouts. So they've been created, and people can get to them that way, and I'll shoot them out through the EdTech listserv as well prior. But so for the month of September, it's every Thursday at 3:30.
Okay. And then I didn't do the stream, and I haven't done a stream before. If I were to just watch, but I wanted to send a comment or send any kind of info or use Q&A, I would do that from the link that you provided?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, Melissa.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt, for joining.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.